Yeah, and you've been posting content forever too. I was going back deep in your TikToks. You used to do a lot of TikToks.
Oh my God. Nobody go deep into my TikToks. There's probably some stuff I should take down. Otherwise,
Welcome back to the Dairyland Duo podcast. Today we have the Robed Realtor, aka Colin Schindler.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Been running around, doing a lot of travel lately in this slower time. So Thank you for helping me out with a lot of folks while I was gone. But back after it and feels really good.
Yeah. So you took a lot of vacations.
Yeah. So last few years in real estate has been crazy. Troy here getting going in the game. Yep. So you're starting to get a taste of the craziness, but the last few years has been wild. It's a very seasonal market, especially when it's super cold up here. Things don't move as quickly. So I'm chained to the area, the spring, summer, fall. So during the winter, I like to get away as much as possible.
Yeah, and you love skiing.
I do. I love skiing. Outside of real estate and skiing are my two biggest passions and hobbies. Because real estate, it is my career, but it is a hobby and a passion. But skiing is definitely that thing that kind of takes me away and a good outlet for me to escape and do my thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like you get a rush.
Skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like going 70 miles an hour down a mountainside,
I could never.
Really?
Didn't you snowboarding maybe, but I feel uneven with the skis for whatever reason.
Didn't you do Trees for Tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I had a terrible time with that.
I loved it. Yeah, that's like the only time I've ever skied.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it takes practice and getting used to, but once you're there, I think it's so much more stable than snowboarding. Man,
way more. Yeah,
you fall hard.
I think it's like I used to skateboard and stuff though, so I think it's more comfortable for me.
Yeah.
But yeah. So how long have you and Troy been working together then? Like this whole time that he was there, or?
I've only been at Remax since August, so 8 months now.
Like together though, like has he been there the whole time?
Colin's
I've been in the office. This is going to be starting off my fourth year in real estate now. So I've been there the whole time.
So the real question is, what did you think of Troy when you first met him?
I mean, I was super excited, and he kind of came into the office. So last August was absolutely wild. So I could hardly keep track of myself. Last August, I'd come home and be like, oh. Shit, I forgot. Are we allowed to cuss on the phone?
Yeah.
Shit, I forgot to get groceries again. Now I better order a pizza or something like that. It was like that wild that you just like your everyday life you couldn't keep up with. So I was super impressed with Troy when he came in, like doing what I did, kind of like quitting your full-time job, stepping outside of your comfort zone and hopping in. So I was super excited about his potential, and now getting to know Troy better and working together a little bit more often has been great because he's a go-getter and he's doing all the right things. So I was impressed, and I'm continuing to be more impressed as we progress.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn sales more. So getting into real estate, I didn't know what I was getting into really. Like I feel like no one ever does until you're like in it, and then you realize like, oh yeah, I got a cold call, I got to do all this. Like,
so what is cold call? Because a little bit like what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to get into a sales job right now. So like I've been like researching, studying, like looking around, trying to get hired for different jobs, and like I keep seeing cold calling on Indeed. What is that?
Basically, what it suggests. So basically, it's cold, so they don't know you're calling them, and you're trying to like just kind of introduce yourself. So real estate's a little bit different. So I did car sales, and car sales is a little more pushy, and you're trying to like get an immediate sale. Whereas real estate is more of just nurturing, and just like, hey, how you doing? This is what I do. Any chance I could get your email or. So I can reach out to you in the future type thing.
Okay.
So basically just trying to get a little info and just kind of like slowly nurture them into leads.
Kind of like telemarketing, but not telemarketing.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, or at least most of the time it is, because like it's just like an uncomfortable feeling trying to like sell things to people.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't do it. I won't do it. There's a lot of people that have very successful businesses based on it. It's a numbers game. So if you call X amount of people, you're going to get X amount of leads that are going to convert to X amount of sales. But that has never been my strategy because it honestly terrifies me. You might look at my content that I put out online and be like, wow, this guy is fearless and he goes balls to the wall and he has no regard, or like he doesn't care. I care a lot, and I can actually be socially awkward. And the idea of picking up the phone and calling a stranger, terrifying.
It's awful.
Terrifying.
It's awful.
Hate it.
Which surprised me about you because like you're like talking to you, you're not like, you don't seem awkward. Like you're really like socially adept, I would say.
So organically, I am.
Yeah.
I love organic conversation, and I was actually just at a business networking event. And if I bump into someone, if I'm standing next to you in line, or I sit down next to you at the bar, or we're at the same bus stop, I'm gonna talk to you and have a conversation, and I have no problem doing that. But just to approach someone cold, and say, hey, my name is Colin Schindler and this is what I do. The idea of that like terrifies me. I'm very introverted when it comes to that. I need a reason for that conversation. So a lot of the stuff that I do is trying to create that reason for people to either talk to me or me talk to them, because the idea of just like walking across the room with my hand out ready to shake someone's hand, like I see people coming towards me doing that, I'm like, where can I go? Where can I hide? I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this conversation because I like the organicness of interaction. So yeah, it's people think that I would be like going up to every single person at the party, but that's not necessarily me.
I remember you saying during a meeting one time, because I used to do car sales, and you were like, "Yeah, I could never do car sales." I'm like,
No.
That's crazy to me.
No, and even there's a reason even there. Like someone's like peering inside the window. Like there's your organic reason to go talk to them. But the idea of like having to like go approach someone and then jump right into like sales, I like the, wow, like that's a cool shirt you have on there. Like I see that sticker on your water bottle. You went to this place. Like I've been there too. And having that reason, but just to run up and approach someone or call someone with the sale intent in mind, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. And that's also crazy because it is like, it becomes a numbers game, and you're very successful in real estate. And the fact that you don't do it by like cold calling, like all the gurus out there tell you, it's all about prospecting every single day, like cold calling, door knocking, all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's people that are way more successful than I am. I appreciate the kind words, but there's people that are way more successful than I am that have built their businesses and continue to operate their businesses on cold calls and door knocking. But that's just not me, which is what's so cool about sales, not just in real estate, but there's so many different ways to do it and to have success with doing it. So if that's your thing, do it and run it. And consistency is more important than any strategy.
Yep. And you guys got me into social media marketing, which I love your content. You the GOAT at social media marketing. I've shown him.
He showed me the Eminem music videos, the one I watched.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that that's the one that you like and that you bring up. Like, I mean, I'm super proud of the Blink-182 one, but
that one's crazy.
Eminem one did not have the reach that the first one did. So when people are like, dude, you did the Eminem one, or like, that's the first thing that they say, I'm like, yes. Someone saw it.
Dude, that was awesome. I'm waiting on the next one. When do you plan on doing another one, or is it kind of just like...
There's nothing in the plans. Yeah, I'm trying to focus on and do other things and consistently bring different content. Mm-hmm. Like my consistency is like difference. Like I try to consistently be different, keep people guessing. Like always have people wondering what I'm going to do next. So it's not that it's out of the question. It's a lot of work. It's pretty labor intensive, cost intensive. So there's those reasons for not doing it. But then I also like to be doing different stuff so that you don't just scroll past. I want you to be like, well, what is he doing now? Click, watch, share. And if I stay too consistent with the same thing, there's a chance that I get passed by.
That's fair.
Right.
Yeah, and you've been posting content forever too. I was going back deep in your TikToks. You used to do a lot of TikToks.
Oh my God. Nobody go deep into my TikToks. There's probably some stuff I should take down, otherwise I'll get canceled.
Yeah, they'll cancel you for anything nowadays, so you never know.
Yeah, we were just talking about that on the other podcast about cancel culture.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So with you being doing this for so long now, like what originally got you into like real estate, sales, anything like that?
So when I first got started off, I had been living in Colorado for a little while and doing the ski bum thing and, skiing 60 days a year, serving banquets and restaurant kind of style serving, and just realized that wasn't sustainable. It wasn't going to get me to the other aspects of life that I needed to achieve as far as like professional growth and development. So I moved back to the area and I sat down with my old hockey coach from high school, Otis, our broker, Otis Johnson. Shout out to him, best broker.
He's
out
awesome.
there.
I love Otis.
He's a great person. Like outside of business, like he's a great person. And inside of business, he's great. He's a great inside of business. Inside business, he's great as well. But went and sat down with him, and he had just started a Remax brokerage, and was like, "You would be perfect at this." And it was something that I had always kind of thought about doing. I was listening to a lot of bigger Bigger Pockets podcast when I was living out in Colorado and
They're
wanted
awesome.
to get into real estate investing.
Yep.
So, the idea was kind of already there, and I went home and signed up for my real estate courses and never looked back.
Yeah. How long did it take you? I'm curious from like starting the course to getting your license.
I busted it out. Well, so getting my license, there's, like I said, there's stuff that I could get canceled for. I had gotten into a little trouble in college here and there. So the process of actually getting my license through took a while. I finished up taking my courses in July, and I didn't actually end up getting my license until I think October 19th, which is my dad's birthday, which is the only reason why I remember that date is when I got my license approved and through.
That's awesome.
So it took a while. Yeah.
It
So
took
that
me,
was my fault.
It took me a month. I literally started the course and I grinded all morning before work and then all night after work.
Yeah.
So I was working second shift and I literally got the course done within 2.5 weeks and then immediately scheduled the license and took it the following week.
Yeah.
I was in that grind where I was
Yeah.
I want to do this. Is what I want to do.
That's the way you have to do it. Because I did this. I went through the course same way. I would go to the library. I actually quit my job so that I could focus on doing that. And I was part-time, so I stopped taking as many hours. So I got through it really quickly, and then it just took a long time to get approved. But that's why you have to do it. I feel like there's so much just random knowledge. What did line 267 on this thing say? And it's how are you going to remember that if you go and take 4 months to do the class and then take the class or the test a month later? How are you going to know?
You're not going to remember anything, and especially because it's such a long test too. I was telling him because he's actually thinking about doing it.
Yeah, I was just thinking about doing it just to see what happens, just know the options. So
yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have, but also at the same time, don't do anything just to see what happens. There has to be a little bit of intent behind it. So it sounds like you're very successful in what you do, so you'd probably be successful at anything. But yeah, it's not something to do just on a whim, for sure. The part-time aspect of it, you can do it, but it's so rewarding to do it full-time and have intentional, this is what I'm going to do. Because otherwise, I mean, it's a pain in the butt. I couldn't imagine doing this part-time. The troubles wouldn't be worth the reward for just part-time.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I think the thing
Well,
holding me back from real estate is just the doubts of man, what if I don't get any sales or anything like that? There's just always the what ifs that are just canceling me out from doing it. So
I mean, you can't let what ifs stop you either. So it's deciding because again, it's a numbers game. So I mean, if you went out and knocked on 150 doors a day, you're gonna get sales. So it's just, are you willing to do something that maybe makes you feel uncomfortable, or figure something out so that you can get it? The what if is you. The what if portion is you, because it's there. It's just, what are you willing to do to overcome those barriers to make it happen?
Yeah, and 100%. I was super uncomfortable with posting content online, social media.
You can tell it in your videos too, your first ones. You're just
So it took me a while to build the confidence, because you guys kept saying just do it. Once you do it, you won't look back, and it's true. Once I started, I was oh, this isn't bad, and now I'm just doing it, and now I'm starting to finally see things come through. I just had a lead come through on Instagram. They're first-time home buyers. They're getting approved right now. So it's slowly I'm getting contacts and stuff through it. So
yeah, and you're getting that practice and developing your presence over time.
Yeah.
Which is super important. So my practice came earlier on. So I look at my original content, and I mean, it's horrible. Obviously, I mean, it's not horrible. It's great, but compared to what it is now, it's evolved so much.
Yep.
But I also had practice. I love doing plays and stuff as a kid.
Oh, really?
So I was used to kind of being in front of an audience. So I got my practice back then, and I've also had my Instagram, since Instagram came out. So if you're just hopping into it and you're oh, I'm afraid to be on camera. One, you can practice and get better and evolve. Two, oh, I just hopped on Instagram. It's not something that's going to be overnight. I'm very fortunate to have had my practice from a young child in the form of plays and being in front of people. And then also, just not even from a business aspect, my Instagram has been established for a long time, just in general. So if you're like just starting a new business Instagram, something like that, and you feel great on camera, but you don't have any followers, it's still going to take time to build it. But then Troy is literally a prime example, getting direct leads off Instagram from posting consistent content. Because you have like 190 followers or something like that.
Yeah, 190, yeah.
So, you're just getting started. You're a baby in that space, but you're pulling
Yep.
I don't know the last time that someone reached out to me on Instagram and was like, hey, like I need a house to sell. So like I have that establishment. So it just goes to show if you're starting and consistent, it doesn't matter how many followers you have.
Yep.
You're going to get leads and it's going to pay off.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah, someone reached out. They're relocating from Florida, and they're like, "Yeah, I saw you on TikTok."
So and that's what's awesome about a lot of like the geographical type stuff that you're doing. Like that's super huge.
Yep.
Super huge.
Just talk about the location.
Yeah.
So when people are actually searching the area, your videos will pop up.
Yeah,
I
man.
bet that felt amazing to hear. Like, oh, I saw you on TikTok.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, really?
Yeah, especially from Florida, which is, that's what's really cool about those platforms is the reach that they have
It's
outward.
crazy. It's disgusting, actually. How many
Yeah.
people like, and you can promote your videos too, and just the amount of reach you can get.
Do you
Yeah.
promote them a
I
lot?
promote a few on Instagram, like depending on like if I know it's gonna. The ones that I see doing well, I'll like throw like $20 and it'll just blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love TikTok. That's how like a lot of my music and stuff, like the people that like feature on my tracks, like I met them on TikTok or Discord. So
Yeah.
So you do some music stuff too?
not much anymore, but
Yeah.
I was pretty hard into it for a while.
Yeah.
I made like a whole album and everything. So
Really?
yeah.
I'm gonna have to give that a listen. So like, what genre, or like you producing the like, what do you do?
It's I don't really know what genre to describe. I guess I always tell people like kind of like indie hip hop kind of thing. So yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm all about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was
How do I find it online?
literally Spotify, YouTube,
Yeah?
Apple Music, all that stuff. It's and Witty, but instead of T's, it's sevens.
Okay.
And Wizzy.
Yeah, and
Say
Wizzy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think you're working on some right now too.
Yeah. I just showed him what I was working on earlier, but
Yeah, I'm not musically inclined. We talked about this on an earlier episode. So my older brother is super into music, and like that's all he's done his whole life. He's a drummer up in Appleton, and he does like stuff, shows every weekend and stuff. And like that's all I heard growing up was just him drumming. So I'm like,
that's all
no.
I heard too.
Yeah, yeah. So
His house,
we
I'm
were
just
like, he was like my best friend since like kindergarten. So yeah,
Yeah. Every time I came over there, I was just drumming.
that's all he does. So I was like, I was not into
cool.
music.
I wanted to play the drums, but then I was a fat little kid, and they made I played the tuba instead.
Really?
I didn't really have much of a choice. It was like, you're doing this.
Now that I think about it, they did always put like a tubby kid with the
Yeah.
tuba.
Yeah, I was the stereotypical tuba kid for sure.
It's awesome. And you grew up in Beloit, right?
I did. Yep,
Yeah.
born and raised. So went to school in La Crosse, and then came back home for a bit, moved out to Colorado, and back here. I mean, there's just so much opportunity here. It's
Yeah.
really a great place.
Is there
Especially-
more opportunity than Colorado?
I mean, the market is so saturated. Saturated. I keep saying stuff weird. I've been talking all day, so running around. My words are coming out less efficiently. So I think that there's so much opportunity out there, but like the buy-ins and just like what it is out there and how quickly it's grown and expanded. It's like it's reached its potential almost. It can only go so high. Which places like Beloit, we've grown so much over the last few years. It's absolutely astronomical how much growth we've experienced here in Beloit over the last few years, but we were so left behind for so long, and we still have so much work to do that there's so much more in front of us as well. So it's really exciting to think about how many opportunities that we have here in Beloit and where we can keep taking this thing and keep growing.
Now, is that like the growth and stuff from Beloit? Is that mainly because of Hendrix?
Oh,
Would you say?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing with Janesville too? Because I know they're redoing the whole downtown. So
Jason was
is there-
trying to do what Hendrix is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like there's some it's pretty fascinating how many wealthy people there are in Wisconsin and then this area alone. So they're really trying to get on board and how philanthropic these people are to invest this amount of money to, for future generations, truly. So yeah, Janesville is getting on board with it, but they still got some
They're really
work to
behind. For
do.
as big as they are compared to Beloit, they're behind.
Yeah. But it's cool to see them and like have it, because there's a couple, like, I don't know if you guys have been to Draft House in Janesville,
Yeah.
or like Janissa Wine Bar. Man,
Yeah, nice.
it's cool to like see these things and then like kind of go out and explore. So I'm super excited about like the combined growth of the two, because it's it really is. Beloit's growth is good for Janesville, and now Janesville's growth is going to be really good for Beloit, and it's just going to be an awesome area to be.
Yeah, especially like Beloit's getting that casino soon. That's gonna be sweet. It's gonna bring in
Yeah.
a lot of people.
In a casino?
Yeah, it's gonna be huge too.
I mean, it's been talked about for a long time, and I know that like it keeps like getting past the okay, we've reached the next step, but as far as when something's gonna go up, who knows?
Yeah,
right.
Like
it should be the coming years, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be like a water park, and they have like a concept art. Like it's gonna be huge.
Oh, actually, I think you shared something on Facebook about that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's gonna
Okay,
be
I
like
remember seeing
right
that.
off the interstate.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And they got that new rec area coming. When's that coming?
so I know that they just like got through. I shared an article on that the other day.
Yep.
That just went through some zoning allowances, so they approved the zoning. So as far as when that'll be completed, though, I don't know. Usually,
it's gonna be sweet.
I think that's another kind of Hedrick's underneath that umbrella project, and it's pretty fascinating to see how quickly she's able to bring things to fruition, and her companies are able to bring things to fruition. So
Yep.
I'm sure it won't be long. We'll be playing duck pin bowling, whatever that is. I'm excited for it.
Literally, like all 6 years I was gone, like I didn't notice anything Beloit. Now that I like moved here, like just in those 6 years I was gone, I would say like there was just a complete change of Beloit. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just crazy how fast she is doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. We have a buddy who actually works at the commercial Hendrix. Ed.
Oh, Ed works there?
Yeah. He works-
Bro, I haven't talked to that man. You could have been like homeless. I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, he just got hired there I think last year. So he got his license, but he doesn't actually like do real estate. He just
Okay.
helps her with the commercial stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But should we ask the AI question?
Always gotta ask it. So I guess basically, like, how do you feel about AI, and do you think it's going to take over, or what do you think the future of AI is gonna be for us?
So I mean, I was talking to another realtor friend of mine the other day about it, and like it needs the input. I don't think that we're gonna like run into this sci-fi thing where AI is taking over the world. I mean, it's incredible what it can do, but it also needs the input. Like there's things that you prompt it. We talk about Chat GPT and things like that as far as like business use, but there's things that it doesn't understand, or things that it doesn't understand in the right way. So it's one of those tools that I think is only as good as the user. I mean, it's still really fascinating, and it is mind-blowing and almost scary what it can come up with and how quickly it can come up with it. But you know what? Like, so is other tools. Like, there's some other terrifying tools, that could be used in a wrong way. But if you don't know how to use it, or it's only as good as the user. It depends on who's using it and how it's being used. So I'm super excited for it now, and I've never been a techie guy. I really think that I'm like kind of an old soul in the sense, like I can send text messages and emails. So going and developing my business this year, tech is something that I'm trying to kind of focus on learning. And I never thought that I'd be excited about it. So like the fact that I'm excited about it, I think it means that it's a really good thing, and it's going to be super beneficial for so many platforms, but it's not going to entirely change the landscape. I think a lot of people think that, wow, like my white horse is here, and you're going to be able to ride off into the sunset, and it's going to completely revolutionize my business. Mm-hmm. It's like you have to revolutionize your business, but that is a tool that you can use. Yep. You have to use it the right way.
So do you think they should limit it though? Because like I bring this up with every guest. It's like if I were to put two pictures in front of you, one AI drawn, one artist drawn, do you think that's taking away too much business? Like, would you limit it in some aspects like that?
Man, I'm trying to think like how I can structure an answer, or like how to even think about it. Because I love like genuine creativity. Like, it is almost unfortunate that a computer could come up with something more beautiful than like we could create. But then again, I think that that's where like the interpersonal things of like life come into like place. Like, we don't have robots necessarily like everywhere painting like actual brush strokes on a piece of paper. So it might be able to generate an image better than we can generate an image, but there's so many things that the human emotion and like touch can do that a computer never will be able to do. I say never, and like maybe it does it someday, but I'll also at the same time, like, I think as advanced as technology is and like what it can do, I think it'll always be one step below what a human can do in certain aspects.
Yeah.
Oh, 100% agree.
I also do think we're like AI is in such an early stage. Like the stuff they're working on in California and stuff is like insane. Like, have you seen like the Tesla bot?
No.
So it's gonna cost like $30,000, and it's literally robot, like a humanoid robot, and it's gonna be able to do like daily tasks for us.
Yeah. I need one of those.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
That thing would be hovering over me at 3 a.m.
Yeah, but you can like send it off to like say get groceries for you, or even like take your car somewhere, things like that. It'll just be able to do anything.
Yeah. See, and I think a lot of that, like everyday basic things can be replaced, but like you don't look at like a person in the grocery store and are amazed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like that person is getting groceries. I can't believe it. But you watch like someone like Alex Honnold climbing in Yosemite, and it's like, oh my gosh, like that is literally like humans can't even do that. You know, so I think that the human aspect, like AI is going to be able to do a lot of things that you're not necessarily impressed with people doing already.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
and
that's
then
fair.
there's going to be those other human aspects that are truly impressive that, you know, you'll just never be able to teach. Like there's a lot of things that can't be taught.
Yeah.
You know? It has to be just done.
That's fair. I like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Actually, I think that was the most elaborate answer we've had on
that
AI.
we've had. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of answers I'm always looking for.
Yeah.
But we'll never get someone.
People are like starting to
glad
get
I
them
can
out,
help.
and they can never just like completely get their thoughts through.
That's why I was like, Colin's gonna be such a great guest because
Yeah.
you can talk. But I guess what's the future like for you? Like, do you plan on starting your own brokerage? Do you plan on doing real estate for a long time? Or I say actor. I think you'd be a great actor. But
I mean, I would love that. I always thought it'd be really cool to like, especially like commercials. And that's why I really like the aspects of my business that I get to do, because like I get to design commercials essentially and advertising. So I that's my favorite aspect of real estate. I think is the marketing and advertising. As far as future plans, you know, like I'm always been all over the place. I actually sat down with someone for coffee the other day, and she said like a squirrel on rollerblades. You know, you always hear people being compared to like, oh, like squirrel.
Yeah.
But then squirrel on rollerblades, I was like, I like that. I'm going to use that. And here we are using it today. So I've kind of been all over the place with what I want to do, what I want my business to look like, what I want the end goal to be. But I do get bored. You know, being in real estate for the last 3 years, it's the longest full-time thing that I've ever done in my entire life, because I like to hop around and be switching things up. I love what I do, but I want to explore and adventure like other avenues of it. And like, that's what's so cool about the real estate space is there's a million different things. So brokerage, I don't think so. I don't think that I ever want to have that responsibility. I love working under Otis, and you know, especially like as long as he's a broker, I can't see myself working or going and doing anything else. But I would love to expand into like entrepreneurial coaching, or like business coaching, or strategy, like consulting, media consulting, and that kind of stuff. Running and operating a team in real estate, getting out of some of the day-to-day stuff like showing houses and, you know, going on listing appointments, starting to transition out of that and then into more of like the ownership role of that business, as well as explore different business adventures and help other people achieve things like I've achieved, and ideally help them achieve it very quickly.
Yeah. That's one thing I would say I do appreciate is you'll give me some buyers to like go and show houses too. Like I love doing that.
Yeah.
So, I know it's easier on you too because you got a lot going on.
Yeah, I know it's super mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I, you know, want to kind of continue to develop this like team aspect where we, you know, I'm thumbing my way through it right now. The last 3 years have been an absolute blur. So trying to like hone in and perfect it so that it's beneficial for us and we can keep streamlining, keep growing, keep snowballing, and then rip off and duplicate and take that elsewhere and just kind of keep the machine rolling and keep the machine getting bigger and better.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into more like entrepreneurial thinking. Like I'm helping one of our past guests, which he's helping too. Like I'm doing sales. So he just started a woodworking business and he asked me to help him with sales, and we're going to get a sales team. So like that's going to be like a part-time thing I'm doing, and he's going to actually help him like build the tables.
Yeah, I'll be doing the woodworking, but I'm also helping with sales too, cuz
Nice.
He pretty much wants to like, he has a foundation for his business, but he wants to start getting sales, like heavy focus on sales, and start getting like products out so people can start knowing about us. So yeah,
that aspect will be fun. And also like one thing I've always wanted to do is open a bar. I think
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
that would be fun as hell.
So fun.
Yeah.
I would love it.
I think that's like what everybody says. Like,
Until
it'd be so fun, and then you start doing it and realize like how much you have to be there. And, you know, I think that's true for any business actually. Like people don't realize the involvement level that you have to put in up front. Like unless you're like truly like a passive investor writing a check to some syndication, like to create something and have it be successful is going to take a ton of front end work. And I'm not talking like 6 months, like years, you know, and then especially something like a bar, you know, it's horrible hours. You have to have people that you can trust, you know, and every single bar. I don't know if I've ever been into a bar where you don't know the bartender and you're getting free drinks and stuff like that. And like, it's a hard business to plug all the holes in the boat, you know, like there's money slipping out. And I mean, that's what's cool about a bar though too. And it creates good patronage and whatnot, but I think it'd be a rough business. So kudos to you. I'll come patronize it, but I don't know if I don't know if I can help with anything.
Me and Rod had the idea of a Mexican buffet. I've never seen a Mexican buffet before.
I don't think I have either.
Sounds like a stomach ache.
Facts. Just hire like a tortilla warmer guy though, just like to have your shit like get ready for you.
Yeah, and then you can just, I guess, that'd be cool.
Yeah, dude, carne asada on the ready, like that'd be a good bar or not bar buffet.
It'd be pretty sweet.
Well, what kind of bar would you like open though? Like I feel like you need like a theme.
I have like ideas. Like I love golfing. So, like, there's already so many golf-themed bars. But I also kind of want to do something where it's, like, 2 floors. So you have, like, the business floor for, like, people like us, like, business people. And then, like a party floor. So it's, like, kind of like a 2-floor thing.
Damn, party floor?
Yeah, like a party floor.
Trying to have a nice meeting and you just hear, like...
yeah. I don't know. That's, like, some ideas. But I also want to add, like, a golfing aspect to it.
Just rip off Top Golf.
I was gonna say, multiple floors, golf bar. It does sound a lot like Top Golf.
Maybe I should just franchise the Top Golf. I don't know. I love Top Golf.
Just open up a Top Golf in Janesville.
We need one in Wisconsin. Like, there's 2 in Schaumburg and Naperville, which are like right next to each other.
Yeah, I've only ever been in one. I've never hit a golf ball there.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not much of a golfer.
Oh no.
I mean, I have clubs. I go golfing. I don't know. I wasn't blessed with that skill.
Yeah, I'm not great. But I just have fun.
I've never went golfing. I was my dad's like little caddy boy when I was younger, but
never actually did.
Yeah, no, I never went golfing, but
yeah, we gotta go skiing sometime.
Yeah,
I haven't done it since like middle school. And
that was terrible. We were literally just in a line following each other, like walking.
It was fun. Oh yeah, because we did cross country and then we went down.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah,
cross country skiing, walking and skis. I guess I have like skis that can walk uphill when you get to ski down though. Otis and I have talked about doing like renting a big house and doing like an office thing and then like office and partners and that kind of stuff, and it'd be a lot of fun. And then,
that would be fun. I would be down for that.
Yeah, and then if you get a big group and stuff, like I'd like to tell you that we could take you, me and Otis, but then we get pretty aggressive. So if we could get like a large group with like all differing skill sets, so that some people could go off and like do their thing, and then
you guys have to ski all day.
Yeah, because I mean, like I'm not kidding. Like you hear the phrase, maybe you're not familiar because you're not as like in tune with skiing, but like no friends on a powder day means that when there's a bunch of snow, like there's no friends. Like you're not waiting for anybody, and like I'm not kidding. Like it is a very true statement. Like me and Otis go travel out west, and Otis is a very proficient skier, like absolutely very proficient skier. I'm super proud of him and his like go-getter attitude, but we're a little different level still. So it snows a foot overnight and we go and get on that chair. I'm like, all right, let's do a run. Then we go get up on the chair again. I'm like, I'm out, dude. Like I'm going to go, I'll catch up with you at lunchtime. We'll grab a beer. And like, he's a great partner to be with because he's very, like, again, very proficient. I trust that he's going to be okay doing his thing. He's having a blast. I'm doing my thing. I'm having a blast. But it would be cool to get a big group together so that we can all ski together for a little bit. And then when we break off our separate ways, like the green skiers over here, the blue skiers over here, the black skiers over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it'd be a ton of fun. And then hot tubs after.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I know you guys did bobsledding too, which is really cool. Yeah,
so cool.
Me a video.
Like you talking about like the Olympic shit?
Yeah,
dude,
it's terrifying.
It's intense. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, I would have never been like I want to go bobsledding. Like it never crossed my radar. And then Otis surprised me with it in Park City. So we went up to the Olympic Village and they do bobsled races, and I mean I was super excited, but then going in it, it's a wild ride. I mean you're doing 80 miles an hour and experiencing like 4 Gs, 3 to 4 Gs. Which
how do you steer it?
You don't like
it just goes.
You're just riding. Yeah, there's a
for the ride, hope for the
you have a driver. You have a driver in the back, so they're steering it and like doing their thing, and you're just hanging on for dear life.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know.
You're like winded, like so you're just hanging on for dear life, and like you're tired at the like you're like like at the end because of like the force of gravity and like you have to push against the side of the sled so that like you're not rattling around all over the place. It's a workout. It was super cool. I recommend it.
Have you tried skydiving?
I have once.
Do you like it?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to go.
So I did it. Loved it. I wanted to get certified. Like jump out of the Remax hot air balloon. I mean, what?
Dude, that'd be sweet.
How awesome of an advertisement
would
that
video.
be?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
That would be a lot of publicity.
That would be.
That's what's critical. Because like your Facebook is like a CRM. Your Facebook is like the most powerful CRM that you have. You talk about like all these companies and stuff, and like that stuff's great, and the involvement that they have with sending out and client relations and stuff like that. It's great. But Facebook is the most important one. Like that's your closest sphere where they can see you every single day. So if you can get people to share into their spheres, like it's like a Venn diagram of spheres that you start to interact with. So
yeah, Facebook's great for that, which is awesome. But like no one shares my stuff. My mom doesn't even share my stuff. I should get her to.
Sometimes moms are the hard. No, I'm just kidding. My mom's really great about sharing my stuff, but you know, sometimes some people are like, "Hey, yo, can you share this?" Like, and you have like complete strangers that like. There's some people that I think might have like my picture on their wall with a candle like below it, and they're sharing everything. And then like I'll reach out to my best friend and be like, "Yo, this is a really good one. I really need the push here. Like, can you share it?" And like, yeah. And then like you go check their profile like the next day, and it's like. Man.
Yeah, that's how it is. I've noticed that it's like usually like a good friend group like doesn't support you as much as say like random people you meet. I feel like
my grandma's my number one supporter.
Yeah, your grandma always like sharing all your stuff.
It's hard though because like that's your personal thing. So there's a lot of stuff that I will share on my Facebook because like I try and be as supportive as I can be to other people because I'm so like supported by my people. But I don't know. There's just like things that I can't share. Like, man, I'd love to, but like, I don't have anything that I can contribute to that. My people that follow me on Facebook, they probably don't know what that is or like would be turned off by it. Like, so that I understand like certain people like not sharing for sure. Like it doesn't make sense for everybody, every time, everything.
That's
so
fair.
100%.
All right. What else we got?
I was going to ask too. So like me starting off, right, like in sales and stuff, what would be like your best advice to give me?
Getting started off in sales, you know, kind of what we were talking about in the beginning, where you can develop a very successful business cold calling and door knocking. You can develop a very successful business by forming an online presence. What do you want? What are you most comfortable with? I think getting started off in anything that you're doing is defining what you want it to look like and what you enjoy doing. And there's going to be things that you don't enjoy doing that you're going to have to do inevitably, but the main structure is going to have to be what model fits you best. And there's a million that work. So I was just speaking at this mastermind event and incredibly successful people up on stage with me, we all do it differently. So rather than being like, Colin said this, or Tim or Sam or, you know, Jerry does this in their business and I need to take that and plug it into mine because they're successful. And if I plug this into my business, I will then be successful too. Not necessarily the case. Find a model that is successful that you resonate with and do that. And that is the best way that you can get started off in sales because you're going to enjoy it and you're going to want to do it consistently, which is going to breed results.
Yep. As long as whatever you're doing, as long as you're consistent, I think you can pretty much do anything. But as long as you don't like, what's the word I'm trying to say? Like, get discouraged. Like 6 months, I think, is what most people say. Do something for 6 months. If it doesn't work, then maybe try something else. But yeah. If you're consistent for 6 months, you'll see results.
I actually like that, the 6 month thing. I've never heard that one before, but I like that.
Yeah, but you have to enjoy it too.
Yeah,
like
you have to enjoy what you're doing.
If you don't like it, like it's not going to work. Like because you have to be genuine in doing it, and then you know even if it does work, like you're going to be like, I'm sick of this. I don't, you know, like it's working, but I also can't stand doing it. So and life's too short to do something that you can't stand doing.
Yeah, and that's why I'm getting rid of like the job I'm at. That's why I'm looking in sales because, dude, this job I have, as cool as like it sounds, it ain't for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
for sure.
It gets boring.
Yeah,
it's like a 9 to 5 or.
Well, I'm a very high paced person, and I just sit at a desk and pretty much do nothing all day. So
yeah,
death by clock.
Like I always tell people, I need some chaos in my life to function. There's no chaos where I'm at.
Sales is great for you then.
Yeah.
So no matter what sales you're in, there's always some type of chaos. Like car sales is a completely different animal than real estate. But real estate's like so much more fun.
Yeah.
I loved it from like the start.
It's a cool career.
Yeah.
But yeah, chaos. I totally like, and that's successful people that are in business, I think would all say the same thing. It's like you function off chaos, and it's like controlled chaos. But I always find the faster that I'm moving, the faster I can move. You know, like when I'm slow, I'm not on my game. You know, like I forget stuff. I mess up. I trip over my words when I'm slow. But when I'm fast and things are moving along and I'm thinking at 1,000,000 miles an hour and I'm running around here and there and, oh, yeah, there's this thing going on and that thing going on, it's so much easier to keep track of when there's a million things. When you let yourself slip and slow down, it sucks. It's hard. It's almost harder because you're not in your stride. So if you function on chaos, you do incredibly well in the sales arena.
That's very reassuring.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, it's fun. If you do get your real estate license, let me know.
Can work for Remax.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Otis is looking for like a younger crowd.
Yeah.
Because I was at Century 21 before, and it's fossils, is what people say. Literally all fossils. I was young. I was the only young person in the whole. It just feels weird.
When I think of Century 21, I think of like my grandparents.
Yeah.
But Remax was such a like refreshing. Like literally my first day after talking to Otis, we played kickball. That's how I met you.
Yeah.
He was like,
That's
texted
right.
me.
That was our first interaction.
Yeah.
So my first impression of Troy, I was like, damn, this guy's good at kickball.
That's the impression I was like looking for.
yeah. That okay.
Something off the walls,
Yep.
like.
Yeah, literally, like, I just sat down with Otis and, like, talked about, like, switching over. And then, literally, like, a couple hours later, he texted me, hey, you trying to play kickball with some of these agents? I was like, this is lit. Yeah. And we won every game that day, too.
I think I was probably injured, or shortly after you showed
You
up.
were
I
injured.
was always getting hurt. I'm the fossil.
You got injured that
I'm the
game.
fossil on the Remax team.
You got injured, like, that game.
Yeah.
Because we played 2 games. I remember that. Well, I came in, like, LeBron, like, scoring. And I think it was
Yeah,
really
he
fun.
was diving for shit in the outfield, like kicking bombs.
He,
and
he was like,
my
"This is your
hero.
tryout." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I'm going crazy." It's like high school.
That's right.
Wait, so were you not on concrete? Because when I think of kickball, I think of like 5th grade when we were on like that little.
Yo,
area
Oh,
there,
we-
yeah.
It's the Sky Carp Stadium
It was legit kickball.
I don't know what
Legit.
that is.
So
in
it's-
Beloit.
It's a $35 million brand new semi-pro baseball stadium.
Oh,
They're-
shit.
they're the-
Yeah, that's where we got to play, and they
They're
serve
not-
drinks and
For kickball?
everything.
dude, it's
Well,
Who do
so-
you guys work for? What?
Well, so it's the Sky Carp is like a high affiliate for the Marlins. So like they obviously hold different events. So they did like a summer kickball because this stadium just opened. This was the first year, right?
This was year 2,
This was year 2.
I think so.
Oh, but yeah, so it's like newer. So they do like other events. So they had the kickball tournament, and it was for like different companies to like go against each other. So like we played like Bankers and like Beloit PD was the team.
Yeah.
They destroyed us.
Yeah.
Sounds fun as fuck.
They destroyed us. It's fun, yeah.
Don't commit crimes in Beloit because them guys are quick.
Them guys are quick.
Guys
Yeah.
are quick.
They have to
And
be.
girls,
Yeah.
and girls.
And girls,
Yeah.
We
yeah.
got a hood here in below. They got to be
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. But yeah, I know a lot of the cops there too, so it's kind of cool.
From run-ins.
We were at.
No, so
Yeah.
that's actually what I like grew up wanting to do, and I got like I have a degree in criminal justice, and I was gonna
That's
be
right.
a cop,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
So I know.
Yeah, I did
We
know
were
that.
sitting at Starbucks. This man goes, "Oh, hey, I know that cop."
Yeah,
Pulled
cop
somebody
pulls
over
up,
the parking
pulling
lot.
someone over. I'm like, oh, what's up? I know a lot of them, and it's funny. So a family friend of mine, he's now the captain of patrol. And every once in a while, I get a text from him like, "Are you sure you don't want to join? Like, we got spots open right
Yeah.
now." I'm like, "No, I'm good then."
Hey, bro, tell him if he ever finds a canine spot, I'll go in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Beloit doesn't have any. It's all about like budgeting. Like
Yeah,
those
no,
dogs, are
very
expensive.
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
My dog that I have that I'm getting right now is worth almost $1 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's wild.
yeah, because it detects minds and all that, right?
Yeah,
From
well,
military.
so it goes based off of like all those dogs and stuff have certifications. So like for them, they have to the narcs dogs. They have to do a certain amount of like sniffs and get good hits on it. So he's 8 years old. He's been through all these certifications, certified every year. So if I were to breed him right now, those puppies would be worth like $250,000. So
Dang.
yeah,
That might be
So
your
that's-
business right there.
Yeah.
it's because
Yeah.
like when those dogs perform so well, that's in their bloodline.
Yeah.
So that dog is gonna be worth more
Yeah.
more that they work well. So
It's very interesting.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they snip their nuts before they adopt them out. If you've ever seen any like previous military dog or like police dog, all their nuts are snipped because they don't want you to breed them. Dude, I'd be a freaking millionaire if they kept his nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess what's in the future plans for you? And What do you got? What do you think? I don't know. You want to do? I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
continue.
kind of just like going back on it. Don't think I ever want to do brokerage, but probably develop a team. So like real estate's just too good to get out of. So, and worked hard and learned a lot over the last few years. So keep that going, but then also, take a more business owner role inside of that. Help other people and like let them do the running around and the hustle and bustle. I've definitely a picture popped up the other day, and it was from 3 years ago when I was brand new license, and I look way younger. There's definitely some more grays and some more wrinkles in the smile than there was then. And that is a part of getting older, but it's also been a crazy last 3 years, and I can't do that. I can't do all the running around forever. So, kind of developing and stepping into more of an entrepreneurial business owner role, working on the business rather than in the business, and then doing some other fun stuff. I truly do want to help people. I want to help people grow their businesses. I want to help them understand and learn and, motivate and be that accountability partner for them. So maybe even start some type of coaching, or everybody wants to be a coach. Everybody's like, I'm a coach. I've done this and I can coach. And that's not necessarily the case, but transition to that, actually provide value to people, because I have done it, and I've done it in a market where it's not a pretty market. I'm not selling houses on Sunset. I'm not down in Miami or San Francisco or New York doing the flashy cool stuff. I've have real life experience in the real life world. I mean, there's no place as real as Beloit, Wisconsin, and I'm super glad to have grown up here and have the experience that I had here. And I think that I can take that and show other people and, help them have similar success on things. So
yeah, I think you'd be a great coach, like Jerry James type. You should. I've seen that you have your content has shifted a little bit into more of a mentor.
I do, and I want to recruit, and bring people into our office and stuff like that. And you see these brokerages like Real and EXP, where it's based on that, and you're getting paid, and that's not what some of my people that I'm friends with in those brokerages. Again, it's a different model, and it works for some people, and it's awesome.
It's completely different. You're almost focused on recruiting instead of actually
selling houses.
It's kind of crazy,
which is cool and great, and good for those people. But that's not my model, and but I do still want to produce that content where people are sticky to me, so that I can have an assistant. I have people. I'm bringing people into the office. I'm helping them in some way, shape, or form. Even if you just take one little nugget from something I said, and you live across the world and you do different business at different brokerage XYZ. I want to be able to help. So yeah, I've kind of put some of that stuff out there recently to.
And you've definitely been huge
motivation,
huge inspiration for me. As my business has grown, for sure. Yeah.
Thank you. That means a lot. Cause
and you're really humble about it too, which is nuts to me.
I really appreciate that. I try to be. I try to be as genuine in everything that I do. I'm super proud. I'm super proud of what I've been able to do. I'm very confident in what I've done, but I know that I didn't get there by myself, and I couldn't have gotten there by myself. So, that's all that you can be, when you have to realize that it's other people that have supported you and helped you and that you've learned from. So you shouldn't be anything but humble. And any, not you, but just anybody in general. Unless you truly did it on your own, you don't get to act like an asshole. And nobody, even the most monumental people in history, admit that it's because of the people that they had underneath them or around them. So.
Yep.
100%. I hate that mentality of I did this by myself, but even if you have somebody simple that just support you the whole way through, no, you didn't do that shit by yourself,
Yeah. You gotta remember where you came from.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, one question I was gonna ask you. I saw you have that commercial property that's now under contract.
Yeah, the commercial, the banquet space.
Yeah. So how did you even score a nice commercial space? Or is it a secret?
No. So, the space is absolutely beautiful.
So
the seller did some amazing work there. He had purchased it, fixed it up, and was going to run a banquet space. And he's like, I've been working on this for years. I'm out of here. I want to move. I want to go travel. So I actually met him when I worked at Menards. He was one of the contractors that would come in and fix stuff. And I worked in the outside yard, so I could drive all the fancy equipment. So there would be days that I would raise him up on a platform so that he could fix a garage door spring, and I'd be sitting there shooting the shit with him for an hour and a half on this, we called it the Joe. It's this giant raising platform, So I wasn't working. I was just standing here on this platform shooting shit with this contractor, and he reached out on Facebook and asked me to list the place.
It's
so,
awesome. It's
it's
super
super
nice.
cool.
It's like a party venue almost.
Yeah, it really is
super clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to show me some pictures.
I will, yeah.
Dude, he did an immaculate job on it. If I had like all my ducks in a row right now, because like it'd be one of those things like I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I like it. I'm gonna buy it. You know, like it would have been that type of situation. Like it wouldn't have even come to the market. It's really cool.
Yeah.
There's an apartment above. Like he lives upstairs above there, and then it's just super cool, cool space.
Did the guy that flew in buy it, or did someone else buy it?
No, so the guy that flew in to see the other commercial they were coming to see another commercial property, the strip mall that I have listed, and they were out. So yeah,
he had a guy flying from like Ohio to come see his.
Yeah.
So is there differences like when you're selling like commercial versus like, I guess private properties?
Residential.
Yeah, I mean.
Like commission or anything like that, is like there any like big differences?
It's pretty much the same commission structure as far as like what you're charging the seller, but there's definitely a lot more. It's nuanced, you know, like things that are in the residential world aren't in the commercial world, and vice versa. So, you know, like you just always want to make sure that you're like operating your like seller's best interest. So I definitely specialize in the residential arena, but the people who have contacted me to sell these commercial spaces, especially like the strip mall, they just trust me because of what I've done and who I am, you know, and I lean on like expert knowledge a lot. So if I don't know something about like this commercial stuff, you know, like, cause we have to act in the best interest of our seller. Like I'm very good about going to and finding the sources that I need to like find out the information. Cause there are some differences and things that you have to be aware of, especially on the buyer side. If a buyer came in, especially if, you know, there's less protections for a buyer on the commercial side, just because of the way that the loans are structured and whatnot. If a buyer came in and wanted to like look at a space like that was, you know, not as knowledgeable, like they were just getting into commercial space, I would probably like entirely refer them out just because of how many different nuances there are.
Well, we might have to have Newsred talk to him then, because he's looking at like an office space. So basically what he wants is he's worried about zoning. He wants a commercial property, but he wants it so like we can still make shit and sell it there.
Yeah, so. I was gonna refer him to you because he's looking at buying like in Wisconsin and Illinois. So I'm currently not licensed in Illinois.
Yeah,
so I would send him your way.
Definitely get him set up with a search. But yeah, especially if there's like concerns over zoning and he's just getting started off. Like honestly, there might be someone better even than me to work with, just because. I don't know enough about that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, he isn't looking for this for a while. Too,
it's
like we're just trying to work out of his garage for now. So
get started. Yeah. That's why I like about real estate though. There's so many avenues you can pursue and like be an expert in. It's cool. It's like you're free to kind of like figure out like what you want to do.
Yeah.
I do like residential though.
So I guess this just kind of popped in my head. You said like you want to like coach and like do all this other stuff. Have you ever thought about like marketing people, like artists or like just little groups of people or whatever, or like Ryan's band or something, like a marketing team for like a band or something? Have you ever tried marketing like that, or have you ever thought of it? Like
tried to like get with someone and be like, hey, I'm going to promote your band and like this is how you. No, not necessarily, but so like the meeting that I had the other day was a lady like that was looking for marketing ideas, like how to make that next step. So it's definitely crossed my mind, and that's what like the Beloit Buzz thing that I do. I try and focus on to put some people like that into their spotlight, you know, and use kind of some of my eyeballs that I get, if you will, to feature them. But I haven't necessarily until very recently, like, you know, thought about it as in terms of, like I could market that. Like I could go to them and be like, I'm going to develop a marketing plan for you and we're going to do these things and I'm going to help you grow your brand. I think it'd be really cool, but also at the same time, it's like, wow, I've done these things and I've gotten these accolades and I get to go on podcasts and people cheer me on, but it's almost like, am I worthy to do that yet? Still, like, am I to that point where I could approach someone and then, you know, what do you charge someone for like that? So there's so many like questions roaming around my head and like, would they pay? What if it didn't work out? So, you know, you said what ifs either. You know, I still have these what ifs too. And it's something that I would love to explore for sure. But how to go about it, I don't know.
I just asked because I know, like, especially in today's world, like, I see a lot of those memes. It's like, we need electricians, not rappers and stuff. And
Yeah.
And I think that's real. And I think there's so much, like, many people that would pay for marketing, because I was hit up by a marketing team, and like, they know what they're doing, because they almost had me convinced. Like, they were trying to charge me like $1,500. They were going to get me at least like a few gigs a year, and then like they're going to push me out to other companies. And it's like, that's really good thoughts and stuff. But the more I looked into it, like, I didn't want to do that. But with so many people, there's so many like different talents that you could find. So I think like marketing people is like something like I definitely want to study.
Yeah.
So like I was just curious if you were also interested.
Yeah. Part of me wanting to get like more savvy with the tech side of things has to do with that. So, because like right now, I mean, it's just me. Like I can tell you what I did, but that might not necessarily work for you. Mm-hmm. So that's not a marketing plan. Like that's not a strategy. Right. Like, I mean, unless that strategy is something that resonates with you and is going to work for you, but like my strategy is not going to necessarily work for every single business. So figuring out like a more concrete, like this is how we expand and scale for anything is kind of what I'm doing. And maybe like not even necessarily, I go back to like the coaching aspect of things. So maybe not even necessarily like, I'm going to take you, I'm going to market you. And you know, we're going to get this many eyeballs and you're going to get this many clicks and this many instant messages. But being that like, hey, I'm going to take you through steps and like motivate you and tell you about the trends and stuff that I'm learning, you know, and maybe you get like 1 hour of my time face to face or over Zoom per month. And then also like 1 20-minute phone call, you know, every week, and charging some kind of like nominal amount to like start off to see how that's working, to like kind of like build up some success and kind of get the wheels rolling that way. But, you know, times, you know, it's hard, especially like just getting started off. You know, $100 a month might be too much, you know, like it might be hard to like find clientele, especially since the clientele would be people who haven't made it yet. So yeah, it's on my mind. It's going.
It's definitely a lot to think about. I definitely was thinking about all that stuff too. So it's cool to hear it from somebody else's perspective though.
Yeah. Speaking of like your events and stuff, are you planning on doing some more? I didn't get to go to this one.
So I actually didn't plan that. I was just asked to speak on the panel, which was like super flattering and cool because I was up there with some awesome people. I'd love to put something like that on. I think it would be really cool. But also at the same time, like I don't want to like spread myself too thin. Like I'm still in a stage right now where I need to be very focused on the things that are producing the income so that I can kind of step away into like those other areas. Because I think that's the other important thing too. And I'm starting to realize that, and like other people don't. Like I've made a very solid level of income, and to get some of these other things going, I'm going to have to take a hit in some of that income. And people, you know, you think about your W-2 jobs or people that are in W-2 jobs and like step into this realm, you know, your income is super linear in those. Like it's slowly going up, hopefully, but it's never going down. So you step into like an entrepreneurial thing and like you never want your income to go down. Like that's how we are programmed and trained to think about income, is that it's a very linear thing, and it's a bad thing if you take a hit. Like we do not want to like we will take less reward to have less risk. And we do not want to go down. Like even if you're still doing really good, we don't want to go down. We don't want to make less money than we did last year, God forbid. So I'm starting to like trying to like reprogram myself and tell myself that, okay, it's okay. You know, especially if we're going to pursue these other things, we're going to have to kind of take that dip so then we can get back onto track to doing other things and like pursuing other ventures.
Take a dip, but it's also going to like
for sure. You got to look at where you end up, not necessarily like the roadmap to get there.
Yeah. Do you watch a lot of like gurus and like financial people or no?
Financial people, not so much. But like people in the real estate space, people in the marketing space, always listening to podcasts. Like half the time that I'm at the gym, I'll be listening to music. Like if I'm going and I really need to break a sweat, probably listen to music. But if I'm going just to do my due diligence and move my body, I'm probably listening to like a podcast or a book. So I'm always trying to like consume new trends, listen to what people are doing right now.
Yeah, the bigger pockets podcast is great. I don't know if you've heard them. It's a lot of like real estate, like investing, like stuff. They're really good.
They're super awesome.
You'll have to link me. I'll watch them.
Yeah, check them out, especially if you haven't before. I mean, I've listened to probably 400 episodes of them, so it's kind of like I've moved past it. Like not that I've I'm better than that, but like it does kind of like become the same thing. And
Yeah.
with the change that I was like saying that I needed earlier, and me bouncing around from thing to thing, I found a couple other ones. So Tom Ferry is awesome.
Tom Ferry's great.
Honestly, like we're working for love Remax to death, but Gary Keller is an innovator in the real estate space. His Think Like a CEO podcast, fantastic. It's one of those
book.
A few of them. Well, listen, I'm more of like a book listener. So like
Okay,
Shift, Millionaire Real Estate Agent,
Yep.
Millionaire Real Estate Investor. I mean, his stuff is all super great. Keeping It Real with DJ Paris. He's a guy out of Chicago and has a lot of top-notch real estate agents on his podcast. So, yeah, just things to like switch it up outside of Bigger Pockets too. But Bigger Pockets is fantastic.
Yeah. Especially if you want to get into like the investor. It's kind of like what Newsred's doing.
Yeah, I'll have to give those a watch. He sent me a few other videos too about sales and stuff that I have to watch on YouTube. I love YouTube. YouTube has so much
got everything.
information.
Yeah.
Everything you can think of. And it's free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell people I'm a YouTube certified mechanic because I learned all my stuff from there.
Yeah, I think probably good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
well, thanks, Colin, for coming on. It's been
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you guys so much for having me on. It was a blast and super enjoy this type of stuff and helping people out. And glad to be here and hang out with you guys.
Oh yeah,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
plug your socials while you're.
Oh yeah, whatever you have, just like
Whatever you
fucking point. Tell me the name. I'll put it in there in the editing, and it's gonna pop on the screen. So.
Oh wow! So like right here.
Yeah, right
So
there.
pretty much at Robed Realtor, and it's ROBED. So not robbed. Robed Realtor, ROBED Realtor. That's pretty much everything. My TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook, YouTube. I think is at the Robed Realtor.
Okay.
At the Robed Realtor. Yeah, and then I just hopped Twitter. I just hopped on Twitter.
Oh,
Just
did you?
hopped
I gotta follow you.
Yeah, I don't
about to have,
think
like,
I have any followers.
I'll be your first.
But yeah, so pretty much at Road Realtor anywhere. My personal Facebook is probably like the best place. My personal Facebook and my Instagram are the best places to find me and actually get in touch with me.
Okay.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love the robe stuff. Shit's great. I'm actually wearing my robe for your thing.
Ooh,
I
you
almost
should
did.
have. That would have been flattering. I had a lender show up to a meeting in a robe one time. Yeah, like our first interaction with each other. She showed up in a robe, and I was like, "This is awesome. I like that."
Yeah, that's great marketing. Like,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
that's awesome. But yeah, that's been the Dairyland Duo podcast. I don't even know what episode this is, but
One of them. Just like and subscribe.
yeah. And follow Colin on all the socials.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
I never thought I'd feel like this.